Seth, who's going to make it to the Final Four and win the national championship? Make some picks.
Well, I like Louisville over Michigan State. Solving Louisville's matchup zones like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's really difficult. Michigan State struggled with that last year. When I look at Ohio State and I look at Gonzaga, I love the Zags. Front court efficiency. Kelly Olynyk, his ability to step out, knock down the three, bring those bigs away from the basket, and his ability to score in the basket area. Plus, Aaron Kraft, I think they can keep him in front and contain him as opposed to like a Brandon Paul. In that Kansas-Florida matchup, I like the Kansas Jayhawks. The ability to defend and attack, and I think Elijah Johnson, his ability to play in transition, special. Then Indiana, I like them over Miami. Louisville over Gonzaga, with Kansas losing to Indiana. My champion, I like Louisville Cardinal. The matchup press and the matchup in the half court.
All right, Jay, starting the Elite Eight, walk us through all the way to who will cut down the nets.
Well, I've got the exact same Elite Eight as far as the Midwest region as Seth did, with Michigan State going up against Louisville. I think Michigan State is an outstanding basketball team that navigates the tournament very effectively. As a 3 seed, they'll be going up against the number 1. I like Louisville to advance because of their defense. Louisville is the best defensive team. They've got the most dynamic guards in Russ Smith and Peyton Siva, and they've got Gorgie Jang inside. I've got Gonzaga, number 1, going against Ohio State, number 2. I think Ohio State, because of their defense, is going to move on and play Louisville in the Final Four. In the South region, I love the draw that VCU has. I think this VCU team is actually better than the one that reached the Final Four in 2011, playing Georgetown. I've got VCU advancing to the Final Four because of the way they can press, force turnovers, and shoot threes. And then I've got Indiana going against Marquette. Marquette's got a difficult draw, but Marquette is a very tough basketball team. But I think Indiana, the mentor going against the pupil, if you will, because Buzz Williams used to work for Tom Crean. But I've got Indiana going against VCU in the Final Four, Louisville, Ohio State. Now, I've got Louisville advancing to the championship game with their defense, and I think Louisville is going to win the national championship, beating Indiana in the title game.
Well, I'm going to go in that Midwest and start out with not Louisville. When I like St. Louis, I think St. Louis can beat Louisville. And then, of course, it's going to be Michigan State against St. Louis. I think when you look at Michigan State, I love how they're playing. They're going to knock off St. Louis. Wisconsin and Ohio State, another payback game. Maybe, maybe not. But I think Ohio State knows what to do against Wisconsin. Aaron Kraft and company playing really, really well, knowing how to get it done. Deshaun Thomas, really solid inside. Ohio State wins that. I did say Michigan State up on that top.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Kansas-Georgetown, interesting matchup. I think Otto Porter knows what to do. Kansas, to me, has key turnovers in the wrong situations, and that's how Georgetown can capitalize on that. They learned a lot when they played in that Big East tournament with what went on there. Miami, to me, can knock off Indiana. Wisconsin did it in Bloomington. Ohio State did it in Bloomington. Miami, to me, is a team like those teams that get it done. So in my Final Four, Michigan State, yes, I love them. I think they're going to end up. But no, Ohio State gets in that situation to play it. I think the national champion, to me, between Ohio State and Miami over Georgetown, I'm picking Miami. I think the Hurricanes are on a mission to get it done. Jim Larinaga been there before, and I really think Miami is on a mission. Not just winning the ACC, not just winning the ACC championship, they win the national title to go with it. The hat trick.
Be a remarkable story for sure. Who have you got, Jay?
I've been a big fan of Michigan State throughout the entire year with the way this team really defends, and I'm still waiting for Keith Apple and Gary Harris to combine and play together. I have them over Louisville. The next round, I have Ohio State over Wisconsin. I love the way Aaron Kraft is leading this basketball team, taking care of the ball. It's going to be critical. You go down to the next one. I got KU over Georgetown. I do like Georgetown, but I think Kansas' ability to dominate the post with Perry Ellis and Jeff Whitley is going to be overwhelming. And then Miami against Syracuse. I really like the Hurricanes in this ball game. Shane Larkin is phenomenal at that high screen and roll situation. When you go back up top to your Final Four, I have Ohio State over Michigan State. I am believing in the way that they can lock down, plus Ohio State, I think, has the number of Michigan State. And Miami, I have struggling against Kansas. I love the low post presence of Kansas. Elijah Johnson can be critical in that game. And then for my champion, I have Ohio State. I've been saying it all year that this is a team that they're able to find a supporting cast. Aaron Kraft steps up, Linzel Smith, LaQuinton Ross. They have the talent and the discipline defensively to win a national title.
Saw that matchup last year in the national semifinals in the Final Four. All right, Dick Vitale, take us from the Elite Eight, Final Four, and your national champion.
Well, I'm going down with Louisville over Michigan State. I think Michigan State beats Duke to get there. Louisville beats them, and they march on. Then I look at the matchup. I love Wisconsin, but I'm telling you this, too much Ohio State. Ohio State over Wisconsin, setting up a matchup with Louisville and Ohio State, with Louisville marching on to the final game. When we go to the other region and we talk out there, when we look right now at the South, I look at Michigan and Georgetown. I look at the Hoyas with Otto Porter and company and Michigan hooking up, and I think the year of the Big Ten, I got the Wolverines moving on to the Final Four. Then we have the big Goliath matchup, Indiana and Miami. And when it's all said and done, the Hoosiers hook up. They play against Michigan. Indiana marches on. And the battle, yes, Louisville, Indiana for the national championship. And when it's done, hey, Rick Pitino, Hall of Fame year, national championship year, the VBDI picked you in November, and they're picking you now, and you will celebrate, my friend, and you will be absolutely the creme de la creme and be the super winner this year.